Basically, if you were born in the 80s or 70s and were brought up in the 90s and 80s, and now you're a parent, there's a huge chance that you struggle with rest. I posted something on one of my socials today where I spoke about how rest is actually one thing that I am struggling with because I am not used to it. I feel so guilty sometimes when I have to rest, and it's one topic that I talk about with many people, friends, relatives. I spoke about that with my cousins the other day. I talk about it a lot with my clients. I have a 21-day challenge where we do journaling, and on one of the days we do specifically resting. I'm not sure where the camera is here. Anyway, I do specifically rest, and the feedback that I get from there, it's wild, because even though it's different people every month, there's at least one, maybe two people who struggle with rest, saying, oh my gosh, I saw rest and I got so nervous. And today I saw a post saying that rest is not really a reward. It is part of life. We need to be resting. And I know that as women at our ages, I don't know about younger people because we are bringing them up. So maybe their relationship to rest is slightly different to ours. But I'm talking to the people who are struggling with rest, like me. Sometimes I find myself wanting to make rest productive, It's like, oh, okay, I have this video or maybe a lesson that I wanted to watch or maybe learn. And maybe in the evening, I will slot that in order for me to get ahead of my schedule. Or I have an hour travel time, I'm not driving. This is a good time for me to be catching up on some of my work. I work with my calendar. I try to do what I call the reverse calendar, where you input all the joy things that you want to do there. But I find myself that my joy things were now filled with catching up things. And I had to catch myself one time when I was talking to a client and they were struggling with their own rest. And we were talking about the reverse calendar for them. And as we were going through their list, I realized that I actually do the same now. I am now putting a lot of catch-up things. I can't use my hands right now because I'm holding my phone. But I'm using a lot of my time that I should be resting as catch-up. And whenever I do something that, if I can even get to decide to do nothing and what nothing looks like, then it's as if I am not doing something right. And I blame the hustle culture, if I'm going to be honest, So I blame the hustle culture because it is the reason we are here. Push. I saw somebody, I think it was Alex Moses, saying that everybody has, what time was it? 5 until 9 a.m. and then again 5 until 9 p.m. And therefore you can't say you can't work on your goals or your side hustle or whatever. And I love Alex Hormozi. I love his books. I've been reading them. But that part made me pause a little bit, and I was like, so if you're in the office, or you have to be in the office by 9 o'clock in the morning, you should have done something between 5 and 9 towards your goals. And true, maybe you are busy 9 to 4. But on top of all of that, when then does one actually get to rest? When do we get to rest? And like I said, I do blame the hustle culture because it's as if you rest, you are going to miss out on so much about life. And I had to take a stand against myself, I guess, where I had to intentionally try and rest. and do things that I consider a waste of time. That was my way of removing myself or detaching myself from the need to have every minute be productive, including my rest minutes. So I intentionally did a lot of things that I usually would call a waste of time, instead of going for a walk as part of my rest in order to stack my habits or whatever the case may be. Seriously, let's watch an episode on Netflix. I don't do that all day long, so let's do that. And another one that I do, I love reading, so that for me, I was like, nah, that's a cheat code. And I do love what do you call it, quick wins, so I will read a book. But as I said, I found myself now wanting to read or do the things that are deemed productive. So instead I would read the books that are upskilling me, and as much as I love reading, that then became some sort of a chore. So I had to really look into that. I'm like, okay, are we really doing this? Are we now no longer going to rest because we're human? We're only going to rest if every single thing is done. Okay, I tried that, but guess what? Nothing ever gets completely done, because every single thing that you fix, another thing sprouts, right? As an adult, that's how we are. Every single thing that gets done, 1 or 10 other things come up. Right? They come up, they need your attention. So if you're going to wait for you to finish everything in order to actually eventually rest, you will never ever get to rest. And there are a few things that you need to probably look at. Maybe to avoid rest right now is not obvious as to it being harmful. I had to look at my under eye rings. When I saw them getting a bit dark, I'm like, okay, I need to maybe look into my sleeping and maybe my water retention, So all of these things needs to be taken care of, but we tend to avoid them. We avoid them because, hey, there's not enough time in the day. So if you are resonating with this, please let me know. Let me know that I'm not alone. We're all struggling with this rest thing. And what are you doing in order for you to get the rest that you actually should be getting without feeling guilty? What are you doing to not feel guilty about resting in your life? I'm looking forward to that. And if you also need some help with your rest and you want to join me in this journey of resting as women in this hustle culture, join me and we can do it together. All right, please like and share my video and consider subscribing to my channel if you like this. I will see you in the next one.